Welcome to Shit They Don't Tell You podcast. My name is Steve.
Oh my God. Can you hear that?
Oh, don't say podcast? That's right.
Sorry, I'm just...
We're going again.
There's people outside.
Oh, yeah, drummers?
Our guest today on Shit They Don't Tell You, a podcast.
Aaron Massey is a handyman. He is a producer. He is a father.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a fantasy football commish, and I would say the greatest, the GOAT.
That's right.
Of all time.
Yeah, that's what I've really known.
You're so versatile. It's crazy.
Yeah. You
versatile.
started off doing sketches on YouTube, and then you started working with Annoying Orange, Damebo, and them over there, and you're still working with them. And then you
all of this is true.
Branched
all of the
off,
things you're saying
started a DIY channel, and you also have a podcast about DIY and all kinds of stuff that we're going to be talking about today. Our topic today is Shit They Don't Tell You about home repair shit, like stuff that
DIY
breaks
shit.
in your house that you don't even know that could break because you don't even know about it because they don't tell you about it.
That's
That's
right.
true. That,
Like,
all of that is
Who
true, and
told
they
you?
will break.
Who told you about
Yeah,
it,
because
Aaron
first
Massey?
you're supposed to know how to buy a house, and then you're supposed to know what to do with it once you have one. And after renting for so many years, like, I don't know any of this stuff. My apartment manager used to just take care of it, and that's how it is
That
for
was
most
so
people.
sick.
Like,
Yeah, isn't that nice?
when are you
When
supposed
somebody
to
else
learn?
just does it
When
and
are you-
pays for
that
it
shit.
and all
Yeah.
that, and you just like throw your money at them and say like, okay, but
Yeah,
I want a
yeah.
nice place to live, and like, can you just like
It's all
repaint the
built
walls
in,
and
just
kind of
a
make it
one
nice?
price.
I didn't
one,
know how good I had it.
Yeah,
You don't know until you know.
you just don't get to keep it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They
which-
fix it, you don't get to keep it.
Yeah, but then you can just like wipe your hands of it and just be like, I'm out.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's
Very
your problem
true.
now.
But
Somebody
you
else
don't
deal
even
with
get
it.
your money back to like 30 years from now. It's like, Jesus.
for the
It's
house.
like you're basically
if
on
you
your
buy
way
a house,
Yeah.
If you buy a
You
house,
just hope
Yeah.
you're not dead by the time you get to like cash in on it.
It sucks, dude.
It's that long-term investment. You're playing the long-term game.
I am always. I
It's
go
like-
along always.
It's like, how do I take care of a water heater? I don't know. I guess I have to add it to the list of boring but necessary Google items.
That's what my brand is. My brand is boring but necessary content.
Oh, great.
love
Well,
it.
thank you.
And
Welcome
I try
to the
to make
show.
it less boring. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well,
try
at
to
least
spruce it up.
I will. Can I critique you for a second?
Yes.
I wish that you had like some underlying rock and roll or like metal playing while
In the
you-
background?
Yeah, in the background while you did it. Yeah.
I do sometimes, but everybody always comments when I do put music under stuff. I
But
put music
have you
under a
done
lot
metal?
of my stuff. I haven't done a lot of metal, no.
I think you should do metal. I think that you should do more. You should
Heavy metal?
Yeah, heavy metal would be really
Death
sweet.
metal?
It would be really nice. Yeah, and then I think that you should do a lot of graphics, like too many graphics.
Just
where
pop
people are
up,
like,
oh.
"This is a lot of graphics." I think that would
just
be
kind
really
of
great.
push them out of the way as they're like
Yeah,
covering my face.
just a ton.
I can do that because I have a graphic.
You know
like-
what I actually love though is your Instagram. It's so relaxing. By the way, you should check him out on Instagram, Mr. Fix It DIY, because you have he like does whole full like DIY projects, like the whole thing. Like he'll pave a freaking walkway to his house. He'll like put down bricks and all kinds of stuff. He'll like sand the bricks and do all this stuff. But he puts it to music and it's time lapse, and it's so relaxing to watch and like so satisfying because you start off with just like dirt and then you end up with this like beautiful thing, and it's like, oh shit. I
It's
could do
incredible.
that. The payoff is there,
It's
I just-
there,
but
it
I
just
would-
takes time.
but
But
not
I-
for me. I just watched it like for 30 seconds and
Yeah.
then it happened, and I'm like,
Yeah, it
oh
didn't
my
take you
gosh,
any
that's
time.
so
Took me all the
relaxing to
time.
me.
Yeah.
But I want to see people use it. It's almost like you just built a ramp, okay?
You
built
want
a
to see
half
somebody
pipe,
drop in.
and nobody uses it.
No,
and I'm like,
people
oh man, I want to
ruin
see somebody
it.
use this shit set to heavy metal.
Just people
Sometimes
walking.
I do that. I mean, but not to like because I haven't built a ramp. But you want to build a half pipe? We should build one.
I want to build a half
We
pipe.
would
Yeah.
just bust our ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that.
I would love to see
I-
Steve busted.
Dude, I want to DIY a
skateboarded-
half pipe.
I
actually do.
skateboarded as a kid,
You
and
did?
I was real bad at it. Yeah,
See?
I was
Jack of all
terrible
trades.
as well.
yeah. I tried, but I just sucked.
I didn't even get close to the half pipe because they
Oh,
basically
no,
wouldn't
dude,
let
that's
me.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Who's gonna drop in on that thing?
They
I mean,
bullied me away from it, but I didn't know they were protecting me.
my favorite thing now is like to see people that are our age or older that are still doing it.
I love
and I'm
it.
like, you know,
Yeah.
you see these guys like 40, 50 skateboarding down the street, and you're like, God bless you, man.
Punk
God
rock's
bless you, dude.
alive.
Yep. Hell
My
yeah.
cousin's actually, he was a semi-professional skateboarder.
What does
Shout
that
out
mean,
to
semi-professional?
Justin Reynolds. I think he was professional, but I don't want to say that. And then people
Sponsored
have
for a brief
people
period of
correct me. He's like one of Stussy sponsors him and stuff. And no, he was in all the skateboard magazines. His
So it's
name
like
is
you get
sorry.
paid, but you only get
Justin
paid like a little bit of money.
Reynolds.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like being a YouTuber.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like you get paid. So I'm like semi-professional content.
He
Dude,
might
creator.
have been professional, and if so, I'm sorry, Justin.
You could be getting $300 a month and you're like, yo, I just went pro, dude. I
Yeah,
got
I'm
sponsored.
semi-pro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like the minor league baseball.
Who taught you about DIY stuff? Was it your old man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly. That's how I started doing like the home improvement stuff. That was my job. I never had I had one real job as a kid growing up, and I worked at a pro shop for a golf course at a country club for, I don't know.
You only had
6-8
one
months.
real child labor job?
No, all my jobs were child labor. That was
but this
because
one you
I
got
worked
paid
for my
for.
dad. That was like when I got tired of doing all that stuff for my dad later, I worked for a pro shop to, selling stuff, and it sucked.
Oh.
But all my other jobs were like roofing, siding,
Oh,
repair
wow.
stuff, plumbing
How old
stuff.
were you when you first
Terrible
started?
stuff. I don't know. Young.
You
Too
just-
young to be working.
Was it like you just wanted to help, or was it like, oh, we need extra hands?
It was a little bit like my dad was like, hey, he'd pick my brother and I up and we'd be like, hey, I got to go here and stop here and do this and this and this. And then we'd just like make all these stops because he had rental properties and stuff. So we would go and we'd have to fix some random thing. He was the guy that you wanted
Yeah.
or that you had in your previous, place. He was the landlord.
Okay.
Okay.
So he was the guy always getting called to like
I
fix
see.
stuff. And
Fix
then
people's
that's how I
apartments.
just kind of got this really diverse skill set of things.
Saw a lot
that
of clogged toilets.
A lot of that.
Have you ever had to hire somebody to fix your shit?
I haven't had to, but I have. Yeah. I actually, yesterday, in fact, I had a couple guys come over and suck out all the stuff out of my attic, like insulation and stuff, because it's all gross and
Yeah,
there's
see, like
rats
no
up
one
in
tells
there
you
and
about
there's-
that.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, you buy a house with an attic. Oh, did you know you have to suck out all the insulation?
Well, you don't have to, but if
you
you have a house
should.
that's like old and crappy like mine,
Yeah.
and like the insulation
all
is
the
in really crappy
asbestos out.
shape, and there was rats and stuff making nests up there, and it's really
Yikes.
gross, and so there's certain things I will pay for still, but most I won't.
Do you tell them that you know what you're doing, or do you kind of
You're
see
like-
if they try to scam you?
Yeah, actually, I gave them a bunch of stuff because I had some sponsored stuff, like some floor protecting stuff and all this stuff, and they're using like this cheap paper crap from, Home Depot and all this stuff. I'm like,
Wow.
here, use this and then take it with you because I don't have any space for it anymore because I'm not
That's
going to
tight.
use
That's
it.
awesome.
So contractors that do come over, they usually like working at my place because I usually hook them up with stuff because
I bet.
I only have so much space that I can.
Have you ever had somebody come over and they try to fuck you over and you're like, hey, buddy, I know this shit. I'm just lazy
not,
as fuck.
Not really, because I haven't. I don't work with a lot of them. So
Oh,
I've
I
only
see.
had like a few that have come over. But occasionally I'll I'll have an estimate done or something, and I'll be like, nah. I know what you're gonna do, and
Yeah.
I can do that.
So what's one of like the most challenging, or well, let's go easy. Like what's something easy that people might not know that they can fix on their own?
A lot of electrical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems so hard.
It does
It's
seem
not
hard.
so hard.
It's
I
like
open that
twisting
thing up.
I'm
wires.
afraid of it.
It looks like fucking mousetrap in there, dude.
Yeah.
That's
a
why I want to
nightmare.
do it on a YouTube video. I've been saving this chandelier that I want to try to electrically wire myself because I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it, and I'm like, if they can do it, I could probably
most
do it.
stuff, like most home stuff, is not that challenging. You just have to have a little bit of the background knowledge about how it works and stuff. Like if you've ever taken something apart and put it back together.
Not really.
Steve hasn't.
Not really.
Well,
Steve is the first to say that something's just a scam
It's
or
a
that
scam.
he got junked, like got like a lemon or whatever.
Yeah.
The first
I
week
actually can't wait to say
of
it.
us dating, the first week.
He said that about you?
no,
That's terrible.
yeah, yeah.
I was like,
He's
I got
like,
fucking
oh
lemon.
shit, this
What
one's
is this
broken.
shit?
Put it back in the
This
factory. I
was
want
a
another
scam.
one.
Exactly.
I went over to his house and he had this dresser in the middle of his floor, which by the way, he had hardly any furniture. He had an air mattress in his room. And he had this dresser that was like all in pieces all over this floor. And I thought, oh, he's probably just like assembling furniture. 3 weeks later, still there in the middle of the floor, still the same pieces. And I'm like, hey, what's up with this dresser?
And I was like,
do you
I
want
got
me to
fucking scammed.
pull it
Was this
together?
like an IKEA or what was
It
this?
was
Yeah, it was
Target.
an IKEA.
It was
Oh,
Target.
yeah, it was Target. Those are,
Yeah.
dude, have you done
Yeah,
the
even
Home
worse.
Essentials line at fucking Target?
No, but
Hey, look at me in the camera. Fuck those guys, dude. Home Essentials at Target. Fuck
Yo,
yourselves,
hey,
bro.
I would,
no, whoa,
hey, I
whoa.
would take a sponsorship from them. Okay, because here's
Not
what
from Home
happened.
Essentials.
Here's what
No way.
happened. Guess who
No way.
motherfucking put it together? He's like, it's broken. Like the holes are not in the right
Yeah, it's a
spot.
shit show.
And then I'm like, oh, because you have to turn it like this.
Yeah.
And then I like basically just put it together in 30 minutes. But Steve, no, you can.
See,
He could
but
not
the-
put
like,
things
they-
together.
Those things are almost made to be hard.
Yeah.
Like, dude, even when I
Exactly.
it took me forever once I started putting together like IKEA furniture and stuff, in our first apartments and all that stuff. I'm like, this is dumb.
I think
like,
that's
the way
why
that
I
they
like
do it
it.
is dumb.
Because I
It is
feel
dumb.
like a genius when I do it. Like when I put it together, all assembled, and it was like hard as fuck instructions, I feel really, really smart. And that's part of the satisfying process.
Like you could almost build something from scratch.
I'm sure you
A
could.
lot easier then
for sure.
then-
Yeah, especially if you
And I know
had
how to
your
do
knowledge.
that. I
If you
did
have a
woodshop.
couple
I
tools,
know how to
yeah.
do that. I
Yeah.
just don't want to do that.
Steve took one woodshop
Well,
class and
that-
loves to
you're
say
not
that he
into it.
knows
I
woodshop.
took woodshop for 2 years, and I got 104.7 in the
You know
class.
what, honey? For a video, I would love to see you build something out of wood. Can you do a video with Aaron?
Sure.
And I would
Fuck
love.
yeah.
I would love to see
How about
you.
Aaron just sits there and drinks fucking Mai Tais while I build
That's
shit?
what I want to see. I want to
alright.
see
I
that.
would be down for
I
it.
want
You
to
in
see
for that?
that.
Yeah, I'm in for
I
that.
think
Mai
that's
Tais?
a- I think
I
that's
sure
a
hope you
great
do.
I
video.
do.
Because that's the show.
Reminds me of Hawaii. Let's do it.
Beautiful.
That's an excellent
What are you doing
video.
in about a half hour?
I'm building a fucking
'cause-
shed with you. I'm
Good.
building
I know
a
how to
shed.
make- I can
I'm
make Mai
drinking.
Tais.
You're going to be building.
That's
Yeah.
goddamn right. You're
Good.
going to sit there and watch me build a fucking shed, my
I'm
friend.
an excellent
ready.
bartender.
How
I know,
big do you
I
want the
know.
shed is my
I-
question. Do you want it to be a fucking small house?
I need a bigger one. I need.
right, 'cause I'm gonna build the-
I just put one up recently. It's not big enough, so now I need a big shop.
I'm going to build the biggest fucking shed you've ever seen, dude. You have a lot of property, too.
What
I'm gonna
kind of
build
vodka you like?
I'm going to build a shed that's bigger than your fucking house, dude. That's what I'm going to do. Just to put this
I'm
bitch in
about-
place.
I'm all about it. I'm
I
all about
can't
it.
wait.
I can't wait.
I'm legit into this idea.
Me too. I'm going to do it.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, wait,
electrical one.
Wait,
What?
I want to say
What?
one more thing.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, for me, the Target Home Essentials line, like, the reason why I really hate those guys the most is because it's like I'm in an escape room. But
I love escape rooms.
What's the- and I
See,
hate
I don't
escape
know
rooms.
if I've ever put Target Home Essentials. Now I'm like gonna walk across the Target over there.
You should.
And I'm gonna go buy something. And I'm gonna try and put
I
it
love
together.
Target.
What you should do is go to the returns line right now. Just walk up to it and see how many sad people are holding Target Home Essentials fucking boxes, dude.
because they couldn't figure it out, couldn't get it together.
Right, because they're like, this is a scam. This is a shit show. I
I
promise
will
you.
say,
those are your people.
I will
Yep,
say that
they are my
Target
people.
was harder to put together than IKEA. But
That's what I'm saying. The
I
Home
felt,
Essentials line.
But I felt more of a genius figuring it out after.
That's terrible.
Is there a thing like, do they use like the twisty, you know how IKEA
The
has those like
dowels,
metal things that stick out of one end and then they have the
They
do. They
twisty
have those.
things.
They have all of
Same
it.
Thing. Yeah.
It's mostly the way that they lined up the holes was very odd. And the way that they had it in the instructions was not very clear. And I understand
so if
why
anybody
Steve had
from Home
problems.
Essentials is listening, like,
Oh,
get
dude.
it,
Fix it.
get it together.
Punch yourself
Come
in the dick.
on. Get it together.
That's what I say.
Make it simpler.
Yeah, give me a break,
lay
man.
people are
How
having
about
trouble.
You guys put one together. Have your corporate board meeting and you guys put a fucking chair together.
Have the president put it together, and if he can't put it together,
Right.
you're fired.
You're fired.
It should be easy enough where they could put it together. Like you shouldn't even need the instructions. Like they
I
should.
agree.
They should give it to the president of the company. Be like, put this together.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
don't give him the instructions.
Yeah.
And if he can't figure it out, well, then it's too hard.
That's right. Everyone knows how to work a
Market
fucking
research, man.
Apple iPhone and shit. Why can't we build dressers easily? Thank
Swipe
you.
up.
They're even
Swipe
trying
up
to
for
make those more
that table.
complicated. You
I know, man. I can't even get my music on the phone anymore, dude.
Got all
can't
these
either.
dongles.
I don't know how to do it anymore.
Dude, my phone's a mess. The iCloud's all crowded.
I don't even know how to fucking find it. I'm like, where is the music?
You're gonna need contractors for the clouds, like
yeah,
cloud
exactly.
contractors.
There are.
And you know what they
That's
do?
what a genius bar is.
Really?
You know
Yeah,
what else
that's
they
true.
do to fuck with me personally is
Yeah.
they keep changing the
It's all
fucking color of
personal.
the icon. So I'm like, wait, I think I know what the music is now. It's purple, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, it's not. Now it's red. I'm like, wait a minute, now it's yellow. What the fuck are they
Everything's
doing
a
to it?
personal attack on Steve.
They're doing it to me personally on my phone. They're fucking with me. I promise you, they are.
So
I really think.
we
believe
we talked about this on Aaron's podcast, which you should go listen to. Steve and I were both on it, but our vent was our dryer was not drying our clothes properly, and Steve immediately went to, we need a new dryer. It's freaking broken. I said, did you Google it? He said, yeah, and we need a new
not
dryer
what I said.
because this is a scam.
I said this is a scam.
It's a
yeah.
scam. This dryer is a scam, and I did a one Google search. And it was that our vent
That's
needed
what I
to be
said.
cleaned out. And turns out there was a bird nest in our vent. But Steve just immediately, it's a scam.
Dude.
He thought our stove was a scam because it wouldn't turn on. And all the entire outlet on all of the wall was out.
You know,
There
what's-
is that thing though, like when you spend a certain amount of money on something, especially like a home, especially when you're spending more money than you've ever heard of in your entire life. You're
Yes.
like, I will never actually have this amount of money in my life, and yet I'm buying something for an amount that I don't really have. I don't get
Exactly.
it. Makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Same.
It's a
But
weird system.
There is a certain thing when you do spend that amount of money, you're just like, everything should be working.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
'Cause you-
Everything
like
should be
usually
in
if you
place.
spend a lot of money, it's like brand new.
Right.
No, it should just right out of the box.
Yeah. Or you take it back. You
Yeah.
know, like you buy it, you're buying a new car and your radio's not working. You take it back.
drive it back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Drive it on
saying. So
back.
we dropped a lot of bread on this place, and then I'm like, are you kidding me? Again, another thing. Like, it just
Yeah.
drives me crazy.
And then it'll never stop.
It
That's
was
the
a
thing that
used
sucks.
house.
So then that's where all the preventative maintenance stuff comes in, which
Yeah.
it just sucks, man.
It's boring.
It's a lot of work.
And then it's all in gibberish, which I'm convinced that they create gibberish so that I can't figure it out on my own, so I have to hire a contractor.
Yeah, it's like how legal documents are, dude. You gotta buy a lawyer now.
Yeah, you got to
Well,
buy a
that's
lawyer.
that's like why. Here's the problem, though. So my content is not necessarily flashy or anything like that. I try to make it fun and engaging, but educational for people like you.
Relatable.
But the problem is you don't need it until you need it.
Yeah.
So then you're going to Google it, and then my
then
stuff
we'll
will
find
pop
you.
up, right? So it's like that evergreen content that's always there.
And then we'll be
that's
like, well,
searchable,
who's that
but it's
guy that
not.
was really fun and relatable that helped me fix my dishwasher?
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
You hope you go back to that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you
You
need
subscribe.
more-
Maybe you go, oh, you know what? And then you've come across a problem. Like I've done a video. You come across a problem that you didn't even realize you had. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, mine does that too.
And then
Now,
you start
I'm gonna
creating
fix that
problems
now.
so you can watch more videos.
There you go.
But Aaron, you need more puns. You need more visual puns.
I know.
Like when you're making a rock fountain, you got to be like, this thing
Dwayne the
rocks.
Rock.
It's a rock fountain.
Yeah.
And then you got to have a live metal band.
That's what I'm saying.
I was
and
thinking
then
Dwayne
then
the
you
Rock
play
fountain.
like a little stinger.
Yeah.
I
You're
just
not
think
wrong.
that'd be sick.
You're not wrong.
Be sick.
I do need that.
Do you watch HGTV shows and you're like, I could do this shit?
I used to. I don't even watch them anymore. They're all garbage.
Why are they garbage? Oh, tell me, because
just
for me it's
like-
like porn for me, Nikki.
I just don't. I don't know. They're all the same. I mean, it's all they just swap in different, male female hosts, and
That's true.
it's the same thing. It's all just like flip this,
Dude.
flip this.
But
bitch.
don't you love Flip the Bitch? Don't you love all that?
I've watched so much of it, then I live it on a daily basis. I don't like to watch that stuff anymore.
It's like
What was that
watching your
show
work.
where they switch, or like you switch homes with your neighbors and like you both redecorate
Trading
them?
Spaces.
Trading Spaces.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny because like they would do it like
that's
shit.
back, or it
Is
was
it?
on Netflix
And like,
for a while.
That was a
like
great
some
show.
neighbors were really good at like
yeah.
redecorating,
And other
and then
people
the
are real bad.
others weren't, and like they had to just live.
Yeah,
with
can you
that.
imagine if like somebody swapped with Steve? He'd be like, "Oh,
Oh my
I'm
God.
carpeting the wall and I'm nailing like
I'm putting stripper poles in the kitchen.
I'm putting the kitchen table and everything on the
Dude.
ceiling.
Yep.
Like everything's gonna get mounted. This is an upside down room. And
Yep.
That's what happened when I was gonna paint our house, and then he just decided to not watch any videos or learn how to paint a house and just go freaking nuts on the wall.
I know how to paint a
Jackson
fucking house.
Pollock,
I
you
got
know?
104.7 in wood shops. That's
yeah,
an
that you
incredible
paint
score.
a house in wood shop.
That's
not my
an incredible
house.
score, by
You
the
were a
way.
lucky man. My school, I came from such a small little town. We didn't have like anything. We
Oh,
didn't
dude,
even
I
have
made
a
little
wood
That's
shop.
because all
toolbox
your
was
dads
tight.
knew how to do it, and
Yeah.
so then your dads just
That's
taught
true.
you.
That's true.
That is true.
San Diego, dude. Those dads, like boat dads.
Boat dads is pretty fun though.
Yeah, but boat dads don't even know how to fix their own boat.
Oh.
Those boat dads.
They just
Those
chill
kind
with
of boat dads.
mimosas on the boat.
Exactly.
I
They know
fixed a
how to
couple
drink on
boats
the
growing
boat.
up. My dad used to buy. Here's my thing. My dad would always buy shit, and then he'd be like, "Okay, we're just gonna fix it." So we would always have shit, but it would be then we would fix it and make it nice. So
See,
like,
my parents taught me a lot about hoarding, which is pretty cool.
that's
yeah,
that's
pretty
helpful.
cool stuff. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
electrical.
wait a second. Hang on 1 second before
Yeah.
we get into that. How did your parents teach you about hoarding? And when she started dating you, you had an air mattress and a piece of furniture that was you
went
had
the other
nothing.
way.
You
Went
went the other way.
You
I went the
yeah.
other way, big time.
Which is
Minimalist.
Push back.
One of my ex-boyfriends, his parents were hoarders, and he was a neat freak.
Like legit hoarders.
And he was like legit neat freak. Like yeah, and they were legit hoarders, and he went. I think it just scares your kids into doing the opposite because they don't want to end up.
Yeah,
like
I get
that.
that.
My parents were like B students at Hoarder University. You know what I'm saying? They weren't like dead cats and shit.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're like B plus.
You could like
Same with
work
my
your way
exes.
through a room.
Yeah, you could figure it out. But it was very like, oh my God, somebody gets an emotional attachment to many objects, including hangers.
For him, it was his dad like worked on cars and just had car parts everywhere. Like their entire backyard was filled with car parts, and then like every car magazine ever was just lining the walls with like car magazines. And
So
stuff
You never
like that.
you never know when you're gonna need it.
yeah.
I find myself doing that sometimes. Like I'll have in my shop or tools or something. I'll be like, oh, I got all this, all these extra Allen wrenches or random
Yeah.
tools, and I'm like, oh, but I might need that, and then
That's
I
the
just
hoarder
find myself
mentality.
like, no, I got to get rid of it.
A
Nice.
hoarder would 100% say, "You never know when you're going to need this. This hanger is like a pink hanger. What if I have a pink dress and it's the perfect hanger for it?" And they
Not to
justify
defend
everything.
hoarders, but there's been many times where I've gotten rid of something, and like very
Yeah.
next week,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, dang it,
Yeah.
I just threw that away, and I needed
I do that
it
with
for
audition
something.
outfits because I'm like, I don't wear these clothes. They're
Oh,
just
this
for
would be
auditions.
perfect. Yeah, and then somebody calls you out of
Yep.
out of the blue and it's like, oh, we need a 1950s
just
princess
throw
from
that.
whatever.
You're like, I just threw my princess costume away last
I
week.
just threw it out. I haven't had a princess audition in 3 years.
Dang.
Yeah.
Never know.
But what if you need that Allen wrench, Aaron Massey?
I got other ones.
Okay.
So electricity and what was the other one you said were easy?
Well, that's one of them. That's super easy for most people to do.
and
enough,
how like to
adequately.
look at Google or and like.
Well, you
pictures
can
and
look at
stuff?
my site and I'll teach you how to do some stuff. But
Okay.
What's your site again, Mr. Fix-It?
MrFixitDIY.com.
DIY.com.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff on there. But stuff like replacing electrical outlets, figuring out how switches work, things in your house that like don't work that should, troubleshooting.
Okay, what about this? So I like in a bedroom, I don't like the overhead lighting. I don't like it. It looks bad. It gives me anxiety for some reason. Overhead lighting gives me anxiety. I liked
Just
when we had
overhead
two lamps.
in general.
Yeah,
Any
overhead. I just don't like it. I just don't like it looks too dim and like there's shadows under people's eyes and I feel weird about it. I don't know. I liked when it's like the two like lamps, like a desk lamp that like, or not a desk lamp, but like a bedside lamp, and it's that warm lighting. But our bedroom doesn't have the outlets by the next to the bed, but there's an electrical plate there, just no outlet. Is that something that can be turned into an outlet?
Yes. Well, depending on what it is. If it's, what are you talking about? Like a metal box? Like, is it a metal plate?
No, it's like so outlets, instead of there being two like plug holes.
There's no sockets.
It's just a plate cover thing.
So
just covering it.
Kind of like that thing up there on the ceiling. Nobody can really see it, but we can see it.
Yeah,
it's like that.
Okay. So yes, typically there's wiring in there, unless it's for like a phone line or something else. It's a junction box. They're using it. That plate is there so you can access whatever's inside it. So if you take it off and look in there, you will have a better. I can't say for sure that that's what that is because without looking at your, specific one, but yeah, there's wiring in there probably so that you could wire stuff.
Could I hook up an outlet that lets me charge my phone with a phone charger?
Typically, an outlet will do that.
No. Not where you plug an adapter in. I want it where I plug the fucking USB thing into it.
Yeah, we could do that.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah, I have
changed
those on
my life.
I have those on my nightstand.
That would change your life.
That would
Are you
change my life.
serious?
Yeah, it would.
When I remodeled our master bedroom a couple years ago, I put those in next on the nightstands. What you're talking about?
Yeah.
So sick. What if you go Android though and you did that?
Well, it's USB.
Oh, so Android does that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
Androids have
So you
USB
plug in
too.
whatever the USB is, and where I really want to get to though is like I would like to have wireless, like a wireless nightstand where I just set my phone on it.
Yeah. When do we get those?
I think you can do it now. You just have like if you have an Android, I think you could do it, or maybe even iPhone. I could probably build some.
That's tight, man.
But so you could just plug the nightstand in, and then just set the phone on.
Here's a question
I
that
love that.
I feel like a lot of people. So a lot of the things on our show is like things that you feel too dumb to ask because you feel like you should know it, right? Like I know that I'm very ignorant with this question, but I've Googled a bunch of stuff and I just still don't understand it. So when I'm drilling into my wall, they're like, find a stud. But then like, I don't know if I found it or not. And it's like hard, right? It's like a hard thing in the wall. But then the nail, I'm like too scared to keep screwing it because it's like so hard.
So what's the question? How do you find a stud?
How do you find a stud and how do you like know, oh, that's a stud and not something that's going to destroy my house?
Okay, so in typical residential framing constructions, it's not always the case, but a stud is supposed to be every 16 inches. Okay?
Okay.
So you can kind of measure off of something. So as an example, an electrical box, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, they have stud finders, those little things you drag across the wall.
Yeah.
Most of them are shit.
What are studs made out of? Heavy wood?
Wood.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Unless you're in an apartment complex or a high rise or something where they have to be made out of metal, they're made out of metal because of fire reasons.
Oh.
But in most
you
homes
can't
and
hammer
stuff,
into the metal. What the fuck? How do you do that?
you got to drill stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Hammer.
But anyway, so like an electrical box, for example, an outlet, one side of that box has a stud on it. So if you can find something in the room, if you don't have a stud finder, you can find an electrical box and try and figure out which side that stud is on. You can measure off of that. Like you can measure every 16 inches, you should hit another one. So if you want to put something up, let's say 6 or 8 feet away from that, you can kind of measure out on the wall, put a little check mark. The other thing you can usually do is you can use like a rare earth magnet, like a strongish kind of magnet.
Yeah.
Probably not a refrigerator magnet because it's not that strong, but something a little stronger. And you can kind of move it across the wall and it'll find screw heads sometimes. So like usually underneath the paint or in the drywall, they have kind of skim coated over screw heads. And the metal in the magnet will hit it and you can tell. because that's the only place that there will be screws.
So below or above that screw.
that
where
whole
the-
line,
yeah,
that vertical
whole line is-
wherever that magnet sticks,
Yeah.
there's a stud there.
Ah.
Aaron, I want to say I want to hang up a canoe in my apartment, right?
We
You
don't
should.
have a canoe. Please don't hang up.
Well, no,
a canoe.
but so I was thinking about decorating my room, and one of the things that I want to decorate with is a canoe. I want to put a canoe on the wall. Now, how do I get the canoe up there and make sure that I'm doing the proper hang job with the kind of weight that a canoe has?
Yeah.
So there's
Significant amount of
I
weight.
had
Yeah.
that similar thing actually, but I wanted to hang a chair, like one of those hammock chairs,
Oh, that's fun.
like an actual.
Yeah, you can do that.
I actually was looking up that.
Yeah,
for-
me too, but for a canoe.
But
Yeah.
So-
not for a canoe.
a couple different things. So the canoe thing, it'd just be like figuring out roughly what the weight of that canoe would be.
Yeah, it's like 600 pounds.
Okay.
It's a big boy.
So in that case, you know that you would have to hit studs. So kind of like what we're talking about, you could find out where those studs are, put whatever brackets you want to put into those studs and carry the weight that way. I mean, it's
Okay.
not, you can hang a lot of weight on
With
on a
oars,
wall.
you think? You think I can get ours on there too? Or
Oh, dude, you
Yeah.
could get oars. You
That's
might
not
even be able
happening.
to. You might even be able to like get in there. We should put it
I
like
wanna be
this
able
so
to
you
get
can
in there.
climb in there. And
I would
just
love that.
Pretend like you're paddling.
and I want to fill my room.
Don't
because
feel
there's
his
no
dream.
water in LA, so
True.
you might as well just get in there and paddle.
Steve's whole job is
That's
to come up with dreams so I could crush them.
That's true.
We're not-
I want a race car bed, but she says
not
no
doing it.
every time I bring it up.
And your thing is similar. Like
Yeah.
you're just looking for ceiling joists instead.
Right.
You're
So I'm
looking
gonna whoever finds them first, that's what they get to hang their thing.
But you could
That's
like,
true.
if you really wanted to like beef it up for something like that, it's similar to like a ceiling fan box. You can like notch out the drywall and put some 2x4s in there and reinforce everything so it's really beefy, and then you can sit there. And that's how they hang sex swings.
Oh.
Oh, is that how they do it?
Okay, you caught me.
She wants dim lighting and a sex
Yep.
swing.
And on that note,
And I
we're
want
gonna
a
go on a
canoe.
break.
And you want a canoe.
I think you get it. I think you get where we're going with this. It's a sex thing.
Yeah.
Hey, hope you're enjoying this break. And also, hopefully, you're subscribed on Castbox, because even though you can listen to our podcast on any app, we hope that you're listening to it on Castbox because that's the best one.
And why don't you give us a break and only use the Castbox app when you're listening to our show? I mean, you could listen to it on iOS or Android, and that's totally chill. But you'd be really giving us a break because we're on break.
None of what you're saying makes sense because they can listen to Castbox on iOS and Android. It's not mutually
Listen, I don't
exclusive.
know how it works. I don't have all the information. I just happen to know that I think it's really great.
Okay, well, great. Good for you. Also, if you can rate and review us, it really helps people find our podcast, and we'd really appreciate it.
I give Nikki an 8 out of 10.
Please excuse Steve, and please like us.
Always room for improvement.
We're trying our asses off.
So you're looking for something to do because you're bored. Well, have I got something for you? Have you ever been to the French Riviera? Well, neither have I. But with this great kit, you can go somewhere you've never been before. It's called
Is it an airplane?
the green screen.
Oh.
And with the green screen, now it's something that you buy. You're gonna pay $30 a month, and they send you a different image that you can put on the green screen that they send you initially.
They don't send you the green screen?
No, they send you the green screen. You have to. Well, they send you the green screen images. You have to go pick up a green screen, and then for $30
Yeah.
a month, they send you a new
JPEGs.
image of a new place you've never been to before that you can put on the green
That
screen.
sounds like a deal.
Just one.
Pretty sweet.
Just
Yeah, one a month. Yeah.
Okay. 30
Well,
bucks.
So use the
but
ser-
right now, if you act, you get a bonus one, and if you use our code YOU.
YOU. That's YOU.
YOU.
The company doesn't respect us enough to give us like a proper code yet, but we think that this is going to go so well that they're going to next week give us maybe a Steve code or a Nikki code. That'd be really special.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out. The green screen. It'll take you to a place you've never been.
That's.
.com, right?
Thegreenscreen.com.
Do you subscribe?
I'm about to. I wasn't
it's
familiar
pretty
with that,
great,
but
man.
for $30 a month, why wouldn't I?
They sent me. It was really cool. They sent me a space one, but I freaked out because there's no oxygen in space.
Yeah. No, he got
Did
quite
you
a
put a
freak
helmet
out.
on?
No.
No, I was.
We didn't have a
I was
helmet.
scared, dude. I was
we
scared.
didn't have a helmet.
Yeah, I was freaking
So
out.
I had to return it and ask for a different one, but they didn't have any other ones because we weren't premium.
They also sent me one that was a waterfall one, and I was just kind of confused.
I'm curious who takes these pictures.
It's
How'd they
this
take a
guy.
picture?
They have a
How'd
guy
they-
who does
how'd they
it.
take
Yeah.
a
If we
space
knew,
picture.
then everyone would be doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a trade secret.
I want that job.
That's like, what's the recipe of Coca-Cola? They're not going to tell
I
you.
don't know. Nobody knows.
Yeah. The green screen. Check it out.
Battery acid. That's the recipe.
Oh.
And caramel.
Fuck you.
I'm so curious about this.
Right?
Oh, don't touch that. It'll
Oh,
tell
don't
you your
touch
whole
it.
future.
Shoot.
And you don't want to know.
You'll see your whole life flash before your eyes, dude.
Okay.
Will that tell me how it ends?
Yeah, and when.
Oh, see, that's
You don't
If
want
you,
to know.
if
don't
you
wanna
had the
know.
choice to know what day you would die, like, would you want to know? So that
the
you,
day,
like, you could
like
really.
the actual day and
Yeah.
the year and the whole
Yeah.
the whole thing. No,
Yeah, right?
because you'd be
Even-
like counting down every
know.
day.
Would you like
to
to know
it.
what day of the week it would be? I think everyone would.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. I don't think I want to know
Surprising.
anything about it because then it'd be like, oh, today. I mean, granted, it could be anyway. I mean, you
Every
could wake up.
Tuesday,
You
I'd
could
be
wake
like,
up
oh,
every
shit,
day.
is
You
it
could be like,
Tuesday?
today's the day I'm gonna die.
With my luck, it'll be a fucking Friday morning.
Yeah, right
And I'm
before
like,
the
God
weekend.
damn it. Friday night was going to be fucking sick.
Right, you had something planned out.
Exactly.
It's probably gonna be like the best night of
I
your
always
life.
do, baby. I always
Scheduled
do.
out.
My
and-
Friday nights are fucking legendary, dude.
dude.
What's your favorite power tool?
For what?
Which one do you use the most often?
The one I use the most often is probably just like
A
a
drill.
drill. Or
Okay,
an
wait, what's
impact
your
driver.
favorite one then?
I really like. There's a tool called an oscillating tool, which I really like. It's
What does
just like
it
a
do?
What a
simple-
nerd.
It, cut,
what
it
a
just
nerd,
cuts like
dude.
it's just it cuts stuff, but it can fit in like weird places and small. It's
Oh,
small and
shit.
does
Unbelievable.
Does
An
Wait, what does it
oscillating-
cut though?
anything.
What? It cuts anything?
Yeah, you can swap the bits, the heads on it. That's why
Oh.
you can cut. Like
Have you ever used a diamond saw?
yes, I have one.
Is that sick?
It's not actually diamond.
What?
Well, the blade is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I've
not
done-
thining it's like a Minecraft thing
Oh,
where it's
okay.
like made out of
I
diamond.
didn't know.
Jesus.
I didn't. Well,
I'm not
I didn't
an
know if you meant
infant.
like actually cutting diamonds. I haven't cut diamonds.
Oh, I see.
I have diamond blades.
What do you use that
saws.
for?
For like ceramics or
cutting.
tiles or stone or
Wait.
really
Isn't it-
hard stuff.
Yeah, it's for cutting hard stuff, but like, why
Wait,
do you need a
ceramic's
diamond
pretty
saw
delicate.
for ceramic, dude? That's fucking. I can break
Ceramic
that shit.
tile.
Easy. Oh.
It reminds me of you know, do you see Garden State?
Yes.
That movie Garden State, when they go back to the store and they're like, I need to return these knives. She's like, why? He's like, cause the ad said it would cut cans and it didn't cut cans. And she's like, did you try cutting a can? He's like, yeah, and it didn't work. It didn't cut the can. But he's lying the whole time. But
That movie
she's
like single-handedly
so good.
launched the hipster movement. I feel like.
Oh, for
Oh
sure.
my god, that movie was great. I know a lot of people tried to copy it.
Yeah.
Same with the Napoleon Dynamite. I feel like a lot of people
Yeah.
try to copy
Yep.
that style.
That was
now.
that's an original.
My
for sure.
favorite scene in Garden State is that scene where they just launched the arrows. The guy just
Oh,
launches
yeah,
the,
and they have to
the
run
arrow,
around.
and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just like, what the hell am I gonna do?
The fire
Because
arrows.
it's just so real. It's like, what would I do? I don't know.
I love when they find the peephole and they're like of the people having sex and they're all looking for the peephole and then they're what's her name, Natalie Portman's getting antsy and she's like, we gotta find this thing, and he's like, hey, who just saw some titties? Raise your hand if you saw some titties, and everyone has to raise their hand.
That's tight.
Yeah, and then he calms everyone down that way.
I haven't seen that movie since.
That's a great
Probably
movie.
My
since-
least favorite part of that movie is when everyone's screaming in the abyss or whatever the hell.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this
They needed-
shit
they
is
needed a
freaking
moment.
cringe,
They
bro.
needed a moment.
Cringe.
It was a shared experience.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we're having.
So, I have like some common asked questions. I don't know how interesting any of these are, but like people want to know. These are the most commonly searched
Hit me.
DIY questions. Okay. What color should grout be?
White. Jesus, can I
Well,
answer that?
there,
White.
there are lots of different colors of grout, it says. So
This
pick
is a-
one that
this is a
complements
thing.
or contrasts the color of your tiles for your desired look. Don't pick some white ass grout. If
Pick
you
the
have
white
some,
Gonna
ass
get
grout.
dirty.
yeah, it's
So
gonna
here-
get dirty.
Depends. Okay, so here's what I'll say. It depends on what color the tile is and what kind of use of the tile situation you're going to be.
Kitchen.
We actually, okay, so kitchen, backsplash or floor?
Oh,
Backsplash.
backsplash.
So backsplash, you could get away with maybe like a white grout or a light colored grout because it's not a traffic area.
Okay.
The only where you're going to have kind of an issue potentially is
Counters.
You
We
know,
had
like
tile
behind-
counters on our
Yeah,
last
that's-
apartment,
my
and it's
place
awful.
does. They're terrible.
Are backsplash still in?
But you have to seal them.
Yeah.
The thing that people don't realize is you have to seal grout. If you don't seal the
Oh.
grout, anything you get on it is gonna get dirty.
Bacteria, and that's
Dirty.
disgusting.
And they also have an epoxy grout now, which
seal
is like,
your grout, people.
Seal your grout, folks.
Oh my
Seal that
god,
grout.
you,
Anyway,
you
so-
monsters! You
you're
trash
asking me
monsters.
these broad questions, but there's very specific answers.
Yeah.
That's
clearly.
maybe
I'll try
that's
to
why
bottom it
everyone.
down.
That's
Yeah.
why everybody asks them.
Here's kind of the dumbed down version of it. I would say,
Okay.
if it's gonna be a floor or something like that, pick a grout line that's that's narrow for one, like how thin of a grout line you have.
Pick a thin ass grout line.
Thin ass grout line, similar color to the floor. So that
Of
way
course.
it doesn't get dirty and you don't have to end up dealing with all that stuff. If you're doing a kitchen backsplash or a shower backsplash or something, you can get a little more playful with your grout choices.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Unless you're dirty
Unless
ass
you're dirty ass
hoe like Steve.
Ain't sealing
Wait,
it.
what are you talking about?
You know, your grout gets all dirty.
My grout's
probably.
clean and
He's
white.
got subway tiles in his shower.
Yeah,
Seal it.
I have sick subway tiles. Very nice.
Okay.
What color are they? White?
White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White with white?
He actually
White
has the
grout?
best
Yeah, they're
bathroom
clean.
in the
I have a
house.
great
That's a
bathroom.
classic look.
It's a
It's a
great
classic bathroom.
His office is an ensuite, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But he has to have the laundry in there, so then I can interrupt him sometimes.
Yeah, and then if she's yelling but I have the laundry going, I can't hear shit, and she's just getting pissed, yelling, and I don't even know that
I
she's
love
yelling.
to get pissed. I love to get pissed
She's
at
a
him.
master
Sorry.
at
I
getting pissed at
love
me,
getting
man.
pissed at my husband.
Oh my
My
god.
freaking wife calls me from like,
Me too.
That's what we do.
I do
I'm
that.
like, come on.
It's
like you
really
can't just like walk
far.
over here.
I actually
no,
love
it's
You love it?
great.
Yeah, I'm so fucking. I don't want to move.
Yeah, we were comfortable
It's
in
great.
our respective
Especially
positions.
during the winter, like I'm like all bundled up and shit, and then she calls me, and I'm like, oh, thank God she called me. Then I don't have to get up because usually she's like, I hear honey, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my fucking
'cause
god.
I only do that if he has to
kinda
check
like- I kinda like
if
it.
he has to check a thumbnail. I'm
Yelling
like,
through the house.
"Hey!"
You're upstairs too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We're on opposite ends. We control polar ends of our condo unit.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are my radiators cold is another commonly asked question on the internet. What the fuck is a radiator? Why
So-
does it get cold?
That's for like, it's a very, you look at like a New York apartment, you got that metal thing underneath the window
Oh,
that radiates heat,
okay,
the
yeah, yeah.
radiator.
That's a radiator.
That's a radiator.
All right.
I'd have
They're
lost that
cold.
bet.
Well, I know about that cars have them.
Yeah, fuck
I
yeah.
just didn't know houses had
That's the only
them.
thing I thought I had on this car.
They're cold because the pipes go through the wall, connect it, and if it's cold outside, those pipes get cold if the heat's
Freaking
not
Tahitian
on.
drummers outside. Sorry,
Yeah,
hold on.
Jesus,
Hold on,
dude.
hold on.
Fucking steel drums on
Can you
this
hear
bitch.
that? Can the podcast people hear that? They can't
Probably
hear
not,
it.
but we can
Okay,
hear it.
sorry, listeners. If you hear
I
a
hope they can
freaking
hear
marching
us
man
having a
out there.
conversation.
All right. Anyway,
Keep it down.
the
We're shooting a
radiators.
music video.
And I'm like, we're trying to talk about fucking what color grout,
What about
okay?
grout? Okay.
It's really important
Helping
shit.
people.
Remember what we talked about? It's flashy content. It's
Yeah.
the flashiest of content.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out what a radiator is over here, okay?
Yeah. Okay. So the radiator, the pipes make it cold.
Here's what we need to do. We need to turn it into a song. We need to turn the radiator.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
into,
tight.
like your radiator.
Then we can truly
Radiator
compete.
gets cold.
It's cold because the
your
pipes go
are-
through the wall, and it's cold outside, so
That's-
it makes them cold.
This is really
Song's
nice.
way
Can
better
you,
than
can
mine.
you choreograph a dance real quick?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
We're doing
They
it.
can't see it
We're
because it's a
doing it.
podcast. But
In the-
Podcast dance.
Yeah.
It's a really cool dance. If you're missing out right now. Do I need to have my boiler serviced? What the fuck is a boiler?
Okay, so
Again.
I'm going to take this one.
Okay, take it.
You
Take it
do
away.
need to have a service. Thank you.
Wait, does everyone have a boiler or just some people?
It depends on how. Okay.
Doesn't
so
your building have a boiler? But nobody has a boiler
It
individually,
depends
right?
on. So that person with the radiator question.
Yeah.
They have a boiler somewhere.
Oh, these
if they're
people are
an
in
apartment.
cold places.
Because they're in cold places, but it's what they're talking about. There's different ways to heat your home.
Okay.
So a
Oh,
boiler is basically heating your home with water
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
that they force through pipes that then the heat dissipates off of these
Oh.
radiators.
Okay.
Got it.
Whereas, like I think you guys,
We put
myself,
blankets on
it's
everything.
forced air.
Yeah.
You have a furnace.
We have
It's forced air furnace.
smart valve that's broken because
So yeah, we just put blankets on absolutely
Not very
everything.
smart.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It
just
actually heats
so
the home
it's like,
really nicely.
It depends on how you heat
Common
your home. Some
comfort.
people heat through like radiant floor heating
Mm.
or radiators or any of that type of stuff, which is water heat, and other people heat through forced air, which is
Oh.
like furnace air heat. So yes, but you should have your boiler serviced every.
Well, how
once in a while.
often?
Do
I don't know, every couple years.
But do we individually have
things
a
to
boiler?
service.
Like you've been to my place. Do I have a boiler, Aaron?
It's probably is that the same thing as a water heater or no?
A water heater. No, it's not the same thing.
It's not the same
See,
thing.
no one
But
tells
it's the
us
same.
anything.
But it's the same.
I think they tell us, but we don't pay
We're all
attention.
supposed to know this? no. When did
They're
they
two
tell
different
you?
devices.
I don't know.
They're two different devices.
My parents never told me any of this.
I think
and
pretty
I'm
much
pretty
a
sure
lot
that
of people
their
still don't
parents
know.
This
d-
whole
didn't
show is
tell
just
them.
two idiots who just didn't listen to anybody
No,
growing up.
I listened.
Like
one
what the
told
fuck?
me.
Like what's a boiler? Hey,
You just
they
didn't have cheap
the
parents who,
system
like,
doesn't
wouldn't pay.
tell you that you
Here's-
have a boiler.
Well, guess
That's
what?
the fucking conceit
Hey.
of the show. Absurd. I
Guess
fucking
what? I
love
lived
it.
in Southern California my whole life.
Yeah.
Didn't have to worry about some stupid radiator or some stupid boiler.
Yeah.
But it's helpful for the majority of people that have a winter.
Good point.
I suppose.
Hey, Aaron, is the fact that when you want to buy a refrigerator with ice on the door and it's like fucking $500 more, is that a scam?
It's all scam.
That's a scam, right?
refrigerator. The whole thing is like crazy to me.
Because you could probably make that, Aaron. Could you
I
make a
wish.
refrigerator with ice on the door?
I probably could, but it would take me a long time, and it would probably end up costing me more money because I'd screw it up a million times because I don't
dude.
have that. I mean, I get the principle of it, but I've never done
Because
that.
all me and Nikki want right now is a freaking stainless steel fridge with ice on the door, and it's
it's like $6,000 or something.
It's so much more money. I'm like, what the hell is the difference?
It's not that much. You could get one for $1,100.
Dude, I have the Sub-Zero fridge in my house, which is like a very high-end fridge, but it's from like 1981.
Wow.
It's old as hell.
Whoa.
But the problem is, like, I have a home warranty specifically pretty much just for this fridge because I don't need it for anything else, but it covers the fridge. And
How much could the fridge be?
Dude, if I were to try and replace the same fridge now to what it was in 1980, it's like $12,000, dude.
Whoa.
What the fuck is this fridge?
It's
I've been to your
Sub-Zero,
house. I
man.
didn't see a fridge
That's
where I'm like,
insane.
whoa, that's a fridge.
Well, it's crap from it's 1980.
see.
You know, it's
I
old
see.
now, but to try and replace it with a new version of the same thing would be like $12,000,
Wow.
Okay, here's one for the DIYers out
which
there.
is why I haven't replaced it.
I get it.
Because those are home repairs, but this is a DIY question, kind of. What's the best way to clean paintbrushes? Here's something. I didn't know you could clean them. I just been throwing them away.
We've been chucking them. You know what we
Dude,
did? We
that's
just chuck them in
expensive.
the ocean.
Well, because like
Yeah.
they're
Sea
covered in
turtles.
paint, and like I rinse them off and I put warm soap or whatever. But then like they're never quite clean. They're just kind of crumbly.
I get it. Yeah.
So then I'm just like, "Ugh, I paid $3 for this. I'll buy another one.
Well, it gets expensive when you buy like decent brushes because like a decent brush that's not like a chip brush like what you're talking about
Yeah.
is like $14.
Okay.
So like you're throwing away $14 every time, and if you're painting
A lot.
a fair amount, that's a
Yeah, that was
big
another thing. I
but-
just painted once, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
I mean, the
anymore.
easiest thing to do, you always got to keep it wet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Gotta
always.
keep it wet.
Always.
Yeah, do you know about that, Steve?
I believe in that.
Keep it wet. But so
How does
don't
one
let
keep it
don't let
wet?
it dry out. That's
Okay.
the thing. Like when you're using it, don't let it dry
What if it's
out.
like
so then-
a couple weeks in between your
Yeah, you just leave it in a cup of water.
No,
for
no,
a
no. I
week?
mean, keep it wet while you're like during
Oh,
the
during the project.
course of the job
I
kind
see,
of thing.
I see.
You know, don't like let it sit by itself.
What about
for a while.
storing it?
Storing it. So the best way to clean it is to invest in like a brush comb. They're cheap.
Okay.
Or you can even use a wire
Oh,
brush.
so people don't have a magic cleaning system. They actually they have the same problem. They
Yeah.
need the
No, I have the same
brush-
problem too.
Oh, okay.
You
I
get
thought it
an
was just me
issue,
being
you know, where
stupid.
the-
I'm like, how come I can't clean it right?
But this makes me not want to do it at all. You understand?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
you
get
don't.
it.
You want to
Yeah.
do very few things, Steve.
Very.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
right.
If
You
it
don't-
doesn't involve sitting in front of a
exactly.
computer,
Here's the
it's
best
not
thing.
for
Yeah,
Steve.
You
it's not
don't
as
have
fun.
to do any of this if you are okay with just giving somebody money to do it for you
I see.
and
Yeah.
paying them to
That's
do
interesting.
it. The problem becomes when you are doing that all the damn time and you don't have any money left.
Got it.
That's the
Yeah.
issue.
That's
so
why I
if
was
you were
like-
just making endless money,
Yeah.
you know, if you're a Kardashian, good for you, man. You can just
That's true.
That's why I just
Pay
want to
whoever
know
you
about
want,
the
do
stuff
whatever.
that I can fix on my own. Because sometimes I'm like, oh well, the computer says I could fix it, but is it feasible for me to be able to fix it, or is it something that I really should hire a professional for? But it sounds like the wiring, like electrical wiring stuff, I should be able to fix on my own.
basic stuff. Yeah, you can do that yourself.
Yeah.
Painting you can do yourself.
Even the
buy
wall,
a brush comb.
our wall in the kitchen that goes out every single day, all the outlets go out every single day. I can fix that.
That I think is probably an easy fix. I
Huh.
think we could
Really?
figure out what the problem
We
is.
had an
there pretty
electrician
easily.
over, and he's like,
Yeah, he's
fucking,
like, "You're gonna have to-
this is gonna be a
You're
shit
gonna have to
show."
redo your whole
He's like,
wall.
holy Jesus, this whole fucking thing's
So
a
we were
shit
like-
show.
All right, I guess.
I don't believe it.
I
We're
guess
like,
we,
damn.
I guess we can't do
He's
it.
like, you have to reroute the whole GPX thing on this thing. Oh
That's
my god.
very discouraging.
They do that all the time.
I
They
know.
actually- like I was working at a friend's salon one day. I was like getting my haircut.
Yeah.
And they had one of their sinks that they wash hair in was like broken. And I was like, what's up with that? Because they had like a line of people getting their hair washed.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it broke. And the plumber said it had like a specific thing or a specific fitting. I was like, no, it doesn't. I was like, no, it doesn't. I can go pick that up from Home Depot right now.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
exactly.
Fix my shower.
and I went and picked it up from Home Depot and I came back and I fixed it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's what the plumber said about my shower, and I haven't been able to ever take a shower in our master bathroom ever in our entire time owning this house, which has been almost a year now. Never had a shower in it.
That's a diverter
because-
valve problem. We talked about that. We
Yeah.
could fix that. Yeah.
We could fix it with the diverter valve. We just go buy that sucker, pop it on.
It always feels like a Star Trek adventure. Like we got to find some magic like force of the universe to go to fix
It is like that. And
Yeah.
when you're in Home Depot too, looking for that one part, and that freaking Home Depot with 50,000 items, you're just like, holy shit.
See, what I like, here's the thing, like what I like about my stuff and the content that I do and stuff, it's like you're telling people how to kind of evaluate their problems.
Yeah.
Like what the problem is.
That's
how you
what I think is
decide to
necessary.
address the problem is up to you. If
Right.
you want to pay somebody else to do it, whatever. But
That's
you know
what-
what,
yes.
at least you'll know what the problem is, right? Like you're like, I
Yeah.
just can't use the shower. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well,
See, first step,
it's probably a
checklist.
scam. My shower's a
You got to
scam.
try
Scam.
yelling at it.
yeah.
All right. If it tried yelling at it and it
Forceful
didn't
tone.
work,
Sternly worded letter works well.
exactly, you have to be hard on it. Then you got to try slapping it.
Yeah.
All right.
A little bit.
Have you slapped it? Slap it. This is like you're calling a Sea Green helpline. This is what you get. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so you yelled at it and you slapped it. Okay, well then it's a scam.
No, your wife has to yell at you and be like, "Did you Google it?" And then you have to lie to her and be like, "Yeah, I Googled it."
No, but I did Google it.
Okay, so you have to be bad at Google.
Yeah, right. But that you know, to
Isn't it
complete
funny
the
how
flowchart,
like,
it's a scam.
isn't it funny how Google has like 1,000 pages of results, but they might as well
Yeah.
only just have the front page.
Yeah, because no one's
nobody's
gonna
getting-
go through
like
it.
I'll go through some stuff, and occasionally I'll deep dive on some stuff, but most people, I think, they might as well just make it one page. And if
It's
you're not
true.
on the front page, it would eliminate half the competition of like the blogger sphere and everything going on. Because if
You're
you
right.
weren't on the front page, you're not even getting
That's
it.
why DuckDuckGo is people are switching over to that
I don't even know what that is.
It
Because they
doesn't
don't pay for the searches to come
Yeah.
up front. Because Google gets a lot of money for
Yeah,
that shit.
right.
So with DuckDuckGo, it's more like what
and
people are
especially
looking for. what they
during
tend
like
to click on.
controversial issues, like if there's like certain controversial issues, politics, different like conspiracy theory type stuff, they'll like Google has been known to like be biased in
Like
that.
me and
in,
Nikki
like, the
were
search.
trying to search
We were trying
fun
to search
Earth
flat
videos.
Earth because we saw the documentary on Netflix, and we were like, "Oh, I wonder what like their actual like
Theory
is." And you can't even find it on the first like 15 pages
had
of
to go to
Google.
DuckDuckGo.
It's only debunkers for like the first like 15 pages, and I didn't even keep going. I don't know.
It's boring. The debunker
It's
is
really-
boring shit. We want to
It's
see
like,
the
yeah,
shit
like-
where people are like, yo, there's a fucking
Yeah.
ice wall on the end of the everything.
Isn't that Logan Paul's thing now?
Is it?
Is it? I don't
Doesn't
know.
he have a show out right now or something? I just saw.
Oh, I don't know. Did he
Huh.
do? He did
Yeah,
one. Is he going to
something.
go? Is he going to the ice wall?
I don't know if he already did. He might
Oh,
have.
tell me, Aaron. Is he going?
I don't know.
Hope
Google
he,
it.
hope he finds
I
the
want to get a plane and I want to go there, but I don't want to get shut down by the government.
Yeah.
So
You
I'm
want to go
scared.
to Antarctica? I don't.
Yeah,
wanna
I would like to fly there. Yeah.
Oh, and then so
Too
then
damn cold.
in the documentary, there's a dude that's like the leader of the flat Earth thing.
This is a Netflix documentary.
Yeah, it's a Netflix documentary, and it's more just like showing this crazy cult of people that believe the Earth is flat. But then even to try to find this dude's videos on YouTube, and he's like the leader of it or whatever. He's
Yeah.
like a big guy in the space. You can't even find his videos
No.
through YouTube. Even if you type in his name and flat Earth and all this stuff, it's just a bunch of debunking stuff.
They should just put all that stuff under YouTube comedy. You know,
I
like
know.
just explain it under
Well,
that.
that's what I'm saying. Is like it's like
At least people would know what they're getting. You know?
No,
right. Like we're not even. I don't believe in flat Earth. I just wanted to know what they thought, and the fact that all the searches are suppressed anyway. Google
yeah, I don't
is
believe
hard.
in flat Earth either, but I think that the moon is total horse shit.
The moon is not real.
I think the moon's not fucking real. Yeah.
It's
what I
not
think.
real.
Yeah, I just don't think it's fucking
the
real.
moon's
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I just think it's all a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
That space photographer we were talking about earlier, he would know.
You would know.
That
Yeah.
guy that.
That's
takes
true.
photos.
Unless he's hired by the government
Yeah, see, you can't count
You
on those guys, see,
cannot
Aaron. You
count
can't fucking count on that shit.
on
man.
people that have said that space is real and that they've been there.
I will
We're
say,
all
though,
just riding on the back of a turtle on a flat planet.
I will say that part of the flat Earth theory that I thought was very interesting was the fact that if you get close enough to the ice wall, pirates will turn you around. And I'm like, wait a minute, pirates are real. Pirates are fucking real. You can look that shit up right now. You can Google it. Pirates are 100% real. So I'm like, that's compelling evidence.
I'd never heard about any. See, I'm not in the know enough. I feel
Yeah,
like
you
I
got to
need
get in
watch
on
it.
this shit, man. It's good shit.
So there's like the wall, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's like a super big. I mean, I haven't seen the show, but it's a super big wall.
Has there ever been a DIY project that you were doing that there was like an unexpected thing that happened? Like with all of your knowledge, you take all the necessary precautions and stuff. Has there ever been something that surprised you? Because I feel like
just usually like how easy some projects, for example, you think should be really easy, and then they always turn it out to
That's
not
all
be.
projects
That's
for
most.
me.
Yeah, that's most.
That's
to
all.
be honest, that's most projects in general for everybody. But yeah.
Was there ever been a time where like you start drilling and just water starts gushing out of your wall or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually happened to me.
Oh my God.
I was using a sawzall on a pipe in my front yard.
Using a Sauza? Like tequila?
Sawzall, like a
Oh,
reciprocating
what is
saw.
it called?
Sawzall
Sawzall.
is a brand, but yeah, it's a
Jesus.
reciprocating saw. It's like brrr, it goes like that.
I never even heard of that in my life.
I feel like you could just invent words and we just believe
Right.
you.
Yeah,
I feel like you're putting me
the
on right
doodle
now.
dinger, that I was using that.
Yeah,
doodle dinger thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I was cutting a pipe and it just blasted me in the face because I didn't bleed the water was off, but I didn't bleed the pressure out of the line.
Got it.
Didn't bleed the pressure out of
You
the
lost the
line.
hard way. my
Blasted me
friend.
right in the face.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Didn't bleed the pressure out.
No.
Nah, you gotta bleed that
What's
pressure off.
what's been like your favorite thing that you've DIY'd or like fixed on your own?
My piano bar is one of my favorite.
I love
ones.
that.
Yeah.
Do you
Wait,
wanna
what's
explain
your
that?
piano bar?
It's a piano that you turn into a bar.
It's the old piano that was in my house. It was like an old player piano that somebody stripped the guts out of it at one, so it was always out of tune and never had the actual player mechanism in it. So it was left at the house when we moved in, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do with this thing? They were trying to figure out a way when we bought it to get it shipped out of there, but it's like $1,000 to just somebody come pick it
Oh
up
my
because
God.
they're
Yeah.
heavy.
Piano movers.
And they didn't even want it. And I was like, just leave it. I'll figure something out. So a couple of years later, I finally was like, I'm going to turn this into a bar. And I made it into a bar. And so like, it looks like a speakeasy thing, or you can't tell it's a bar unless you.
That's so
Open it
cool.
up.
That's fucking
I
dope.
love that.
You've seen it, haven't you, in my dining room?
I'm sure I have, but I'm very not observant.
He doesn't
Yeah.
observe things.
Anyway,
I
like
observe
that.
people, not
Yeah, he
not
doesn't
things.
observe environment. He will observe people though.
I do observe people quite a
And
bit.
he's very good at imitating people, not their voices,
not at
but
all.
their cadence and their mannerisms.
I can nail cadence and mannerisms, not voice.
Do Aaron?
I hear that.
Oh wait,
Aaron's-
but they wouldn't be able to hear.
Yeah, they couldn't hear it. It would be a visual thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that's probably one of my favorite.
That's a great
ones.
one. Do ever like friends try to have you do a bunch of things for them?
Yeah,
All the
moochers. You got moochers.
All the time. That's pretty much the only phone calls I get.
Yeah.
Like when my phone rings from like a friend of mine that I haven't talked to in a while, I'm like, why are they calling? Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang
Or-
Bo's
or-
like, my fucking shower's not working.
Sometimes it's like, can you help me? And sometimes it's like, just ask me a question.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what do I?
You're like
what do
the
I do about this?
doctor of homes.
A little bit.
Have you ever had to do something kind of nuts for your friend where it's like, they're like, the GD's fucking septic tank is all friggin', and you got to crawl in their septic tank or whatever?
No,
Okay.
I haven't crawled in their septic tank,
like,
but I mean, I've done a bunch of plumbing stuff, but I'm not gonna go climb in somebody's septic tank.
Because
unless
to
they're
me,
like,
for a friend, I'm like, dang, bro, I don't want you to like be in my personal septic tank. That's just weird. I'll hire someone.
yeah,
Has there ever been?
that's the case I think with most.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
most people would.
Like I don't want to put you into that.
Yeah.
You never know.
Has there ever been something that was too much for you to do on your own, so you had to like hire people?
Yeah. I mean, well, it depends on it's usually a timeline thing. So like for
Okay.
myself, I don't do,
But there's never been a job that you're like, oh, I can't do that.
not really.
That's so
Not that I can
cool.
think of. It's just, as far as like timeline goes or whatever.
Mine's
so
like, give
people,
up
it's like,
immediately.
oh, I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
I'll have friends or somebody will contact me and be like, oh, can you, I would love to hire you to remodel this or
Yeah.
remodel my kitchen or this. I'm like, I don't have a crew. I don't have a whole gang of people. Like it would take me by myself to do that for like 3 months. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, wow.
Like, so no, I won't do it.
Huh.
Like, but small projects and
Yeah.
little things like little fix-it stuff or little like custom.
I would like you to build
builds
me
or-
a fridge with ice on the door, please.
Don't.
I got contacted the other day. Steve Zaragoza was like, "How could?" He asked me if I could build a merit. What the hell is it called? Anyway, it's this crazy looking piano thing. I forget the name of it, and it has like every instrument in it.
Whoa.
What?
It's
It's a real thing?
I have to look at my text messages.
wanted
They're like,
Aaron to
and I was
build-
like, and I immediately said, "Oh yeah, that sounds great. I don't know what that is, but let's do it." And then I Googled what that thing is, and I was
You're
like,
like, never
"Oh
mind."
no, oh no,
Yeah.
There's no way I'm doing this."
Wow.
I gotta look it up now.
I
I'm
wanted
gonna-
Aaron
I'm
to
gonna-
build a Murphy bed out of a bar. Like, so it's a
yeah, that's
bar,
sick.
and then it's a Murphy bed built into the bar.
That's quite sick. You just have to take
That's
all the
not
bottles
that,
down.
like that's not impossible.
Right. That's like kind of cool.
But what if you? But what
Then
if
you drink so much, and then you're like, hey, your friend's like, oh, I can't drive home now, and you're like, hey, spend the night.
that's pretty tight.
There's
But
a
then you got to
bed.
take all the bottles off before
No,
pulling
no,
it down.
no, it's on top, and then the bed's like on the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
just
Yeah.
right in the front.
that's weird.
It's called a photo player.
What
And
the
it's like
hell?
one of those old timey things that like reads, you know,
Oh,
like
the, like,
braille
dot-
almost,
the
yeah,
dot
like
things?
that. But it has like you could watch this video later,
Wow.
and it's like the camera just like at first I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's like a piano, and then the camera like pans to the right, and it's like, oh, it's also a drum set. Oh, it's
my
also it has horns and bells and whistles.
I think that's what Lily Singh's using on our music
It's
video.
like, hey man, can you build a fucking nuclear reactor for me?
It's like it's like a
That sounds
circus
like-
instrument, is what it is.
Jesus.
It's like something that I don't know.
They
I don't know
would.
anybody that actually has this.
Those Valley folk
Those Valley folk
would.
people are a strange tribe of
They
people.
They're
would.
strangers.
They're a strange people.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on our podcast today, Aaron. Tell the
welcome.
people where they can find you one more time, because
So-
you're going to need this information. You won't know that you need it until you need it.
Exactly.
But when you do need it, here's where you go.
So you can find me on YouTube at Mr. Fixit, and you can find me on Instagram at Mr. Fixit DIY. Brand confusion, I know. And
The
then
same
you can
with
listen
you.
to our podcast, the How to Home podcast.
Hell yeah.
And you can find that on anywhere that
Any-
podcasts are available.
Any of those podcast spots.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to our podcast and you have not rated us, then we take
You
that as a
should do
personal
that.
insult, and we
Shame on
would
you.
love it if you
Taking that
would.
as a
Shame on
personal
you.
attack.
We would love it if you would. And if you rate us really well, that really helps out a lot, because you don't know. They're trying to destroy our show because we talked about Flat Earth. They're trying to destroy the show. They're
burying the
They're
show.
trying to bury
Scam.
the show. They're trying to scam.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. So
It's
you
a
got to get
personal
out there and
attack.
rate the show, because they're trying to take it from us because we talk about Flat Earth one time.
You talked about the moon not being real.
We talked about the moon. Well, that one's really actually true, though.
Shame on you if you buy Target furniture too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
True,
like
true,
fucking
true.
exactly. And dude, let me tell you something. One of the, just as a final thought, because we like to end the show with final thoughts. Think about how much fucking money gets made off of pictures of the moon. Like you have like different people that buy moon ornaments at Christmas time. There's all kinds. There's a whole industry of moon things that would go deep sixth overnight if people knew that the moon is bullshit.
Well, the moon.
It's
the
about
moon
money. It's about
is
the money.
A feminine
Everything.
essence, and so if you're trying to oppress the moon, you're trying to oppress women, Steves, and I don't support it.
What?
Well,
Feminine essence?
Yeah, it's a feminine essence. Okay, it's the lunar. The lunar is the female energy. The sun is the male energy. Okay, you need both. All right, and you're trying to suppress the moon.
I think the
That's
moon,
fucked
the
up.
Earth is a female energy, and that the sun is a male energy.
Well, the Earth
And-
definitely is female too.
yeah, see.
Mother Earth.
Yeah.
So there's no fucking moon.
You know, there's a moon.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, think of all the moon pajamas. You see moon pajamas?
I've
the
never seen
pajama
moon
bottoms with all
pajamas,
just
not
moon.
once.
It's all just moon pattern.
All right, my final thought is
I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I love my husband, but I'm really glad that we have people like Aaron that find solutions to home repairs. That's my final thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just call me anytime.
Yeah,
We'll
yay.
fix, we'll fix your spot up.
We appreciate you.
Aaron, any final thoughts from you?
My final thought is that I had no idea half of this stuff even existed. That the moon wasn't flat. Or wait, the moon's not
It's not there, dude. It's
See,
just not there.
see, I'm so twisted right now. My brain is doing so much extra thinking that I don't even know. I can't even
Well, you've never
formulate a thought.
you've never thought about this before,
No, dude.
and it's a new thing.
My mind is blown.
You know what I've never thought of? Radiators.
Yeah,
I
Same.
didn't know those existed either.
I-
So I'm with you.
yeah. I'm just so twisted up right now. I can't even think.
I get it.
Well, you
Aaron,
don't have to.
but Aaron, I will say this real quick in
What?
my defense, because you just said that. Like, I'm
Yeah,
glad
wrap
that.
it up, man.
Okay, so we wouldn't even know Aaron Massey if not for Steve Green. So thank you,
Okay, great. That's wonderful.
thank you.
Please subscribe. Come back next week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, bye.